for tuning into my channel. My name is Shavonne. As y'all can see by the thumbnail, today we're gonna be having story time about when I first found out I was pregnant. Yes, when I first found out I was pregnant. So y'all tune in. Okay, y'all, so I'm about to give y'all a backstory of when I found out I was pregnant. So I want to say this was back in 2016. It was summertime. Yeah, summertime, because I had on this nice, sexy dress. Okay, your girl was looking fire, okay? So, back in 2016, yeah, sometime. So, me and my homegirl, well, me and my friend at the time, we was on her porch just chilling, you know, hanging out, having a good old time. You know, sometimes, you know, everybody named mama outside. So, you know, we hanging out, chilling, vibing, listening to music and all that. So, we see this girl that we know, and we're gonna call her Fats. So Fats ended up coming over to where we was at and was like, oh, hey y'all, what's up, how y'all doing? So you know, she chit-chatted with us, we chit-chatted with her, she went on about her business, as she should. So, you know, we just, me and my friend at the time, we just chilling, talking. So we seen Fats go across the street to this house or whatever, you know? So I want to say like 20 minutes later, we see this dude coming from that house, but like he riding on a bike. Y'all, that man was so he riding on a bike. He rode past my friend house. So when he was riding past, I broke my neck. I don't care, y'all. I broke my neck. I'm talking about I really broke my neck. So he seen me break my neck and he broke his neck. So, you know, we end up catching me, you know, our eyes just connected. And it was like, in my head, it's like, I was just singing like, let's get married. Like, for real. Like, I was like, this dude, I'm finna have him in the palms of my hands, okay? But anyway, so he ended up riding his bike back to the house that we seen Fats at. So he seen Fats and he was telling Fats like, yo, you know her? Like, you know that girl right there? So Fats was like, yeah, I know her. That's my homegirl. But I see them talking like in the middle of the road. I see them. So I know he talking about me. I know he got to be like, yo, who that? For me? So she walked up to us and I'm like, girl, in my head, I'm like, yes, he asked about me and all that. Like, what's up? Like, for me? So she come over there. She like, I forgot what she had said. I don't know. But yeah, she called me over there. She was like, come here. She was like, yeah, my homeboy want to talk to you. He said you fine and all that and stuff like that. So I'm like, so I'm whispering to her. I'm talking to her like, I don't mind going over there, but your girl is ashy. Like, I don't know. Like, I know I lotioned up, but I must didn't hit them ankles because, baby, they was ashy, okay? So I finally end up going over there. We talking. So, you know, he asked me a bunch of serious questions. I'm asking him a bunch of serious questions, you know, trying to get, you know, to know you a little bit, you know. So he telling me, he didn't even tell me his name, y'all. He told me his nickname. Like, no. I was like, what is the name your mother gave you? Like, if you know me, you know I like government names. Like, what is the name your mother gave you? So he still didn't want to tell me. So whatever. He like, oh, my name's so-and-so. So I'm like, all right, my name is, you know, I told my real name. Like, my name's Shavonne. I said, but you call me Cece at the time. So he like, oh, okay. So we chit-chat. So I had to go, y'all. I had to dip. For me, I don't know. I think I had to go to work, or I think I just wanted to go home at the time. You know, I wasn't trying to stay outside long anyway. I was outside for a little bit. So me and him, you know, still talking. So I was like, hey, you know, I gotta go, yada, yada, yada. So he like, okay. So I was like, so you want my number? So, cause you know, like, it's common sense. Like, after you get done talking to a dude, he gonna eventually ask for your number. Like, it's a part of talking. Like, he's gonna want your number. But this dude, he ain't want my number. He like, oh, I'ma find you. What you mean you gonna find me? You was not the feds. feds. You're not the feds. Bro, you're not the feds, bro. So I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Boom. We went our separate ways. So next to my daddy house is a park, right? Mind you, keep in mind, this time I was in Florida. This time I lived in Florida. So I think like, yeah. So I ended up coming from school one day and I'm walking through the little park trying to go to my dad's house. And I get inside the house. My dad like, oh, some dude came knocking on the door for you. So I'm like, some dude, and we're gonna call him Fabian. So Fabian, my dad was like, yeah, his name was Fabian. Fabian asked, was you here? And I'm like, oh, for real? My dad was like, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, how did he even know where I stayed at? Like, did he follow me? Like, what's going on? Like, he was really giving me weird vibes. At this point, I was like low-key freaked out because I'm like, I don't got this man number, nothing. Like, for me, like, I'm freaked out. So I was like, you know what, let me go clear my head. So I go to the park and I go sit down. Before I can even sit down on a bench, guess who come through the park? Fabian. I'm like, hey. I'm waving my hand like, hey. So he finally come up. He like, oh, what up, shorty? I'm like, did you knock at my dad's house? He like, oh yeah, I told you I was gonna find you. I'm like, who told you I stayed there? Like, people giving out my information. Nah, I need to know who told you that. He like, don't worry about it, shorty. Don't worry about it. So, boom. After that, I think we just started just chilling. We chilled a little bit, and then we was talking, and then he had to go about his day. But then, I think a week or two later, then that day I ended up giving him my number, so he was quick to get in contact with me or whatever. So we was texting. You know how I go, texting. You know, all that, texting, all that. So we ended up meeting up. You know, just chilling, hanging out, vibing. So then it became a constant thing. So it became like every day, like we just loved each other, like being around each other. We loved everything. Like we loved being around each other. We loved like everything about each other. So it was like we every day we was like together. So mind you, I had asked him like, yo, you got a girlfriend? Because like, bro, you was too fun to be out here and not have a girlfriend. Like, so he like, nah, you know, he been told me over it, like, nah, I don't got a girlfriend. I don't. So I'm like, all right, say less. I ain't even care. So, boom, we talking. So, mind you, we didn't even have sex yet, nothing. So, I want to say months go past or whatever. So, one day, me, him, and his brother, we outside chilling, stuff like that. So, his brother, you know, Floridians, the way they talk is like a little weird. So, his brother like, oh, you ain't hit that yet? Bro, you ain't hit that yet? So he like, nah, we ain't do nothing or whatever. So I'm like, I said, listen, I would mess that man life up. Stop playing with me, like, too good, period. Like, so he like, shorty, you just talking. I'm looking at him like, stop playing with me. Because if I give you some of this, you finna go loco, okay? Like, you finna be like, ding dong, like, what hit you? Like, stop playing with me. So, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. He tested my gangster, okay? He tested me. I was ready to me. For me, he tested my gangster. So, later on that night, I ain't gonna lie, your girl got her song. There's a meeting in my bedroom. Hey. So, girl, please don't be late. But anyway, yeah, I can't sing. But yeah, so So after that night, next day he was on me like, shorty, I gotta see you again. Like, so I'm like, nah, like, now you hooked, bro. I told you, like, stop playing with my young stuff. So anyway, chilling. So, mind you, he is a street dude. Like, he was into the streets, stuff like that. And I used to be into the street dudes, like, I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, yeah. So one day we ended up going to McDonald's, and and we come back from McDonald's. We was just walking, take a little scroll. So he was finna take me back to my dad's house. And I don't know, for some reason, like, my stomach was like not working with me. Like, I'm not talking about like gotta go use the bathroom. I just had this feeling like, I don't know, my body just felt weird. Like, so he was like, oh, I'm finna stop over here by my people's house, or whatever. And he was like, I'll meet you at your dad's house. Something came to me and was like, no. And I told him, I was like, no, like, I don't want you to go over there. Like, I was like, I got this bad feeling about something. Like, please don't go over there. So he was like, everything's going to be all right, shorty. Everything's going to be all right. I'm like, no, please don't go. So I'm like, you know what, whatever. Because he's grown at this point. I can't force you to call me back to my dad's house. So I walked to my dad's house. He walked to, his people house or whatever like that. So I get there, I'm washing my hands, started fixing me something to eat. I'm eating, watching a little TV, texting him, still, stuff like that, seeing how he doing. Not even 2 hours go past and my phone was ringing. I swear my phone was ringing. I'm like, hello? He like, yo, shorty, the feds pulled up on me and yada, 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 yada. So I'm like, are you serious? I'm on the phone like, are you serious? Like, what's going on? So he like, oh, I don't know. Da, da, da. So boom, we hung up from each other. Long story short, well, yeah, skip past all of that. So, one day, my brother ended up coming down to come stay with me. And me and my stepsister at the time, we was sitting on my daddy's couch in the living room. Like, it was like kind of like a recliner. We was sitting on that. And I was like, yo, I do not feel good. And my sister was like, yo, me too. Like, I don't feel good neither. And I'm like, what I was like, what did we eat? And my brother, he was like, y'all hoes pregnant. We looked at him like, like, keep that energy over there. Like, So my brother was like, yeah, y'all pregnant. I was like, no, don't wish that on us. Don't do that. So, so the next day I had to go to work. Mind you, Fabian had called me. So I'm on the phone with Fabian, whatever we talking. Mind you, he ended up getting locked up or whatever that night. So he was calling me, from jail. So we on the phone talking. And I told my manager, I finally hung up from him, and I was telling my manager, like, yo, I don't feel good. Like, my stomach is killing me. Like, my stomach is, like, killing me. So she was like, go upstairs to the nurse and speak to the nurse and tell the nurse that to give you a Tum. Mind you, I didn't even know what a Tum was. I'm like, okay. She was like, it's going to help with your stomach pain. I was like, I'll take anything right now that's going to help with my stomach pain. I go upstairs. I get a Tum. She was like, what's wrong? I was like, my stomach hurt for some reason. So everybody up there was looking at me like, okay, gave me the Tum, went about my day. She was like, I said, when is it going to kick in? She was like, it should kick in within like 5 minutes or whatever. So I'm like, okay. 5 minutes? Bro, in 2 minutes, I was still hurting so bad. Like, I was like this, y'all, walking like, I was like this, like, I was like, no, so I went back and said, I was like, can I get 2 more times? Let me get 2 more times. She was like, what's wrong? I was like, my stomach hurts and I don't gotta go to the bathroom. She like, oh, you gotta be pregnant. You must be pregnant. I was looking at her like, ma'am, no, I don't have sex. Sorry. Like, mind your business. I don't have sex. So boom, mind you, the girl who had worked me at the time, we're gonna call her, I don't know, but the girl that had worked me at the time, around that time, I did not like her. She didn't like me. We didn't get along. We was like oil and vinegar. We didn't get along. So, she was getting on my nerves that day. Like, I was like, if you, like, I was like really wanted to go on shorty chest, like, but I ain't gonna lie, we end up, like, to this day now, like, we is like the best of friends. That is my bestie, period. But anyway, so boom, I ended up going back upstairs. The lady gave me a Tum. She was like, oh, I'm finna go. She came back and said, she was like, oh, I'm going on lunch. So she was like, I'm going on lunch, so I'm finna buy you a pregnancy test. She was like, but if you pregnant, you owe me lunch. And if you're not pregnant, I owe you lunch. I'm like, bet, go get it. I'm like, go get that pregnancy test right now. Because I was like, and then I want some Olive Garden. I swear, I want some Olive Garden. Stop playing with me. So She come back from her lunch break. She get it. No, I think she had like 10 more minutes on her lunch. She give me the pregnancy test. Mind you, he called me back, so I'm on the phone with him. I was like, dang, I'm at work. I can't really talk, but I'm finna use the bathroom so we could talk until I'm done. Mind you, the nurse is standing by the door, like standing like literally by the door, and I had the door open, like, so I'm like, okay, so I had she looked away, I, peed on a little stick. I put the pregnancy test on top of it was like this little thing where they put the tissue and stuff on or whatever. So I put it on that, whatever. It's like a little rack. So I put it on that, and I put my phone up there because I had to wipe myself and stuff like that. So I get up, flush the toilet, wash my hands, stuff. After I'm done drying my hands and everything, I went to go grab my phone and looked over at the pregnancy test. Dark lines, 2 lines, dark. I'm talking about dark, bro, like dark. I was like, oh, boom, like it was like I wanted to faint. I was like, yo, in my mind, I'm like, this can't be life. This is fake. Like, you got this off Amazon or something. Stop playing with me. Like, I was like, nah, this is fake. Stop playing with me. I just stared at it for a minute. I was like, yo, let me call you back. I hung, mind you, I can't even call him back. He was in jail. What was I thinking, right? So I hung up from him, and I'm just staring at the pregnancy test like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So anyway, boom. So later on that night, I ended up going to the emergency room because I was like, I had experienced a ectopic pregnancy. I want to say like months way a long time, like months prior to me finding out I was pregnant. Like, I had experienced a topic, but that's for another story time. So I went to the emergency rooms just to make sure the baby was like, in my uterus and stuff like that. So found out the baby was in my uterus. And I don't know, like when they gave my papers, they gave my discharge papers and everything, showing, mind you, y'all, I was 9 weeks pregnant. 9 weeks pregnant. I was like, bro, not even 2, like 9 weeks. I was like, bro, how this whole time I didn't even know that I was pregnant. Didn't even know. I guess I was so caught up in the moment, we chilling, we getting it. So, mind you, I called my sister. I'm like, yo, let me call my sister. I call my sister. I'm on the phone with her. Mind you, I left my dad's car at the hospital. I'm like, yo, I'm not even driving. I need to walk. I need to breathe. Like, so I'm on the phone with my sister. I'm like, guess what? Guess what? She like, I'm like, I'm pregnant. She like, you what? You serious? She's mad hype. I'm not hype. I'm not hype at this moment. I'm sad. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm like, how? But of course, you know how. And I'm gonna ride you like a rodeo for me. So I'm like, I'm on the phone just going off, like venting, like, My sister, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be a great mom. Da, da, da. How many weeks are you? Asked so many questions. Boom. So I finally told her. So when he called me back, I'm letting him know, like, yo, I'm pregnant and I don't know how, because you're the only person I've been with. So he like, oh, it's something I gotta tell you. I'm like, what? He like, while we was having sex, I took it off, whatever. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm about to go away to college. Like, I'm barking on him. I'm talking about barking on him. Like, stop playing with me. He like, I'm sorry. He was there, but I kind of already figured you was pregnant. Like, how you already figured? But I'm not gonna lie, ladies. Dudes really do know when a female's pregnant. I ain't even gonna lie, cause he mentioned it to me. I want to say 2 weeks before he ended up going to jail. Like, he mentioned it to me, like, and I was like, I would never have your kid, never. Like, is you dumb? Like, I'm in school right now. It's my last year. Like, no. So, yes, y'all, like, that's how I found out I was pregnant. I was like, it's like, and I'm not gonna lie, like, when I when I first went to my first doctor's appointment, once you see that sonogram, it's like you hit a heartbeat and you just like, just amazed. Like, you know that you're gonna take care of a whole human being. Like, you finna take care of this human being. Like, it was so many thoughts going through my head. Like, oh my God, that's a baby in there. That little P is a baby. Yes. It was a whole baby, like. But yes, y'all, I'm gonna end it right here. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and make sure y'all put on y'all post notifications. Put that bell on so y'all can get notified every time I post. Thanks, y'all.